Hello, I'm John C. Krieg. I'm an author. This is the sixth in our series, YouTube videos, primarily about writing, of course. Also, we'll get around to landscape architecture and some environmental topics because that's been the focus of my career and my life. I want to apologize. My last video, I forgot a word on my my URL for my website, so I can be reached at https:// John Christopher Krieg Books.com. Okay, as promised from the last video, we're going to discuss novellas. What are the primary reasons people write novellas? Well, if they're like me, they haven't worked up the gumption to write a novel. Novellas are defined as being between 17,500 and 40,000 words. And I kind of miss it all the time. What I consider a novella or an extremely long short story is Dance Halls of Fast Girlfriends. I have that posted underneath my book, Zingers, Five Novellas Blowing Like Dust on the Desert Wind. My longest so-called novella was 62,000 words. Well, that's approaching novel territory. Novels are considered between 70,000 and 100,000 words. So I want to say this about all these rules and regulations. They're made to be broken. I mean, it kind of drives me crazy how everybody wants to define something right down to the last iota, and then they turn around and say, well, we want to hit a broad audience. Well, the more you refine it and narrow it, the less of a broad audience you're going to get. Worry more about writing well, whatever it is. Just write well. One of the masters of novellas is Rick Bass. He wrote three novellas, 1995, that kind of launched his career. Flat River, in particular, is a story where it just grabs you right from the beginning, right there, and that's good. Um, if you can't get to a novel, but your short story's running over, then you might as well start calling them novellas. Now I know there's a gap between the novella cutoff of 40,000 in the novel beginning at 70,000. Now that's 30,000 words there. They're kind of in no man's land. Well, that's now called the novelette. And I'm not going to get behind anything that ends in et. So just try to write as well as you can write. And a novel to me is just a daunting task. Even with novellas, I have to do an outline. I have to kind of plot it out. And usually when I write them, I'll write the beginning, I'll write the end, and then start putting stuff in the middle of it. And the outline, you can define your characters, try to define their personalities, their physical appearance, all of that. You can define your setting. And then, you just have to, like all writing, you have to come on strong, you have to end strong. And since we promised that we would talk about novellas last time, we have. I will not talk about novels. I will not talk about anything I haven't done, whether I've done it well or I've done it poorly. If I haven't done it myself, I'm sure not going to tell you how to do it. But there's writing books out there that are pretty good. Um, you'll just have to find them because I can't remember them, even though it seems like I read them all. That happens when you turn 75. A lot of it goes away, which is good to be a writer because you can you can write it all down and go back to it. Don't forget where you put it. So, I'll leave you with the tagline, writer writes. Goodbye.